Yay.
Thank you. I am going to start singing along to that. I just have to figure out what the words actually are and in what language. But I will get there eventually. So, welcome back, everybody. We are playing our way through Tyranny, and our adventurers got up to a little bit of adventuring off screen. And we have a wonderful volunteer, Valandra's player, will be giving us a recap on that. It's a warning, may get a little longer than most of our recaps because they did a tremendous amount of stuff off screen and very nearly died at least twice that I remember. I mean, like, not just like, hey, that was a little dangerous. No, like, I think 2 hit points on one occasion and death saving throws started on the other occasion. But before we launch into that, I'll let you know we are waiting on 1 or 2 players to hopefully still catch up and join us. So you may hear a ding in and a hello from them. And then we will pick up with the announcements after the summary. But let's turn it over to the summary, if you would like.
Okay, so after the initial battle with the Peritons on screen last session, Dusk chased after the Heart, and then Edgar tried to get in front of Dusk, and Talais and Valandra were chasing after all of them on horseback. Annoyed at her brother's attempted interference, Dusk tries and fails to launch Edgar away like a football. Dusk and Dawn continue to fight through message as this happens, long after they should be out of range. Dawn appearing to be an overprotective brother at first, then revealing him to be the Tabaxi we all know and love, or at least know, by revealing he's not really that concerned with what happens to his sister. He's concerned about her blowing their cover and endangering the mission.
And I do want to pause you for 1 second to mention, as I was reading this text going through, I don't know how many people happened to recognize it, but all I could hear was Excalibur saying, "Fool!" Go ahead.
Dusk just keeps pace with the Heart, not managing to catch up, and the Heart bounds into an ominous-looking forest full of giant webs a la Mirkwood. The Peritons seem afraid to follow the Heart into the woods, but luckily for them, they still have a target as Dusk decides to stand and fight rather than either follow the Heart into the woods or flee back to the caravan. Dusk falls in the first volley by the Peritons, only managing 10 damage in the process. Luckily, Talais and Valandra are close behind, Talais acting first and moving to shatter the birds before using Mantle of Inspiration, and Valandra throwing herself off of her horse and atop Dusk with her tiny form trying to act as a shield as she heals her. Only 2 of the 8 Peritons down, Talais decides they should make a glorious escape into the web-filled woods where the Peritons fear to go, remounting a horse and using her last Mantle of Inspiration to allow the others to follow, Dusk picking up and carrying Valandra since she's by far the faster sister. Valandra continues attacking from a perch on Dusk's shoulder, felling a third as they disappear into the woods. Talais does her best to take the reins and be a responsible leader of the group, giving directions so they can try and navigate the webs without getting into more trouble. They move through without disturbing the webs, and things seem to be looking up before they notice that the webs are not getting less frequent, only newer, clearer, and with less debris stuck in them. They eventually come to a clearing with a broken raised dais where the Heart stands waiting for them. As they dismount to approach, they notice the ettercaps and giant spiders closing in on all sides around them, just as they begin shooting webs at the 3 of them, although luckily none of them are restrained as combat begins. Dusk readies an action to attack anything that gets close enough. Talais casts Fairy Fire, and Valandra casts Spirit Guardians as the ettercaps close in from either side. A somewhat desperate fight ensues, with Dusk punching many things and Talais using Dissonant Whispers repeatedly to try and get the beasts away from her, while they all take several hits. Valandra spending most of her actions healing and granting temporary hit points to the others, despite being the target of 3 out of the 5 of the enemies. She gets poisoned several times, but somehow manages to maintain concentration on the Guardians. Dusk kills a spider, and Valandra, still beset by 3 of them, shouts out for her to help Talais, the target of only 1. One of the ettercaps throws webs at Valandra from a distance, managing to restrain her, reducing her speed to 0 and giving attackers advantage against her. The resulting attacks leave her double poisoned, restrained, and down to 2 hit points, though she manages to heal herself a little after that. Dusk kills another enemy, and Talais shatters the 2 remaining, though it doesn't bring them down. Now down to 6 hit points again, still restrained and poisoned, Valandra nevertheless targets the one attacking Talais, though once again she fails to damage it. Dusk kills the last Ettercap on Valandra, and Talais whispers sweet nothings at the final one until it dies. Valandra breaks out of the webs and staggers up to be even with Talais before they all approach the dais, Dusk half a step ahead of the others. And now I'm just going to read what Casey had for here, because I don't want to try and summarize the poetry of this one. The great beast's eyes lock on Dusk, words ring out in the air. A heart of gold, it was foretold, shall select from choices 3, a weapon bold, a secret told, or else to set me free. You've heard the lore, choose either or, whatever your wish will be, a horn to gore, a tail to bore, or else to set me free. Valandra immediately encourages Dusk to set it free from a place of childish wonder at the fairy tale unfolding in front of her, backed by Talais's silent stare. Dusk only just manages to avoid ruining their chance to set it free by asking if it's trapped, something that could have been construed as a request for a secret, before managing to clearly state that she would choose to set it free. And again, from what Casey wrote, an arrow zips out of the air from the right. It catches the heart in the side as the beast staggers. Startled as you might be to notice the missile is rough made, stones come from the left, slamming against it. A trap next springs up on its leg, breaking it. Nets cascade down, then great rents appear in its fur, the marks of talons and cruel beaks. The wounds of centuries of hunts evidenced in moments on the beast before it falls, the corporeal form falling to dust even as the ethereal rises. The heart, a spirit now, stamps a great hoof once and the dais cracks. It bows its head once toward the trio who stand before it, then turns and ascends into the sky, growing in size but fading in shape until it is just a glimmer of light in the sky and gone. No more will the hunt for golden heart be called. No more will the beast suffer so that a hunter might have a wish fulfilled. The golden heart has been set free. Talais reaches out to stop the others when the arrow first hits, warning them to leave it just as they both step forward to try and help. The heart freed, they have little trouble as they take the time to rest and then return to the caravan. Talais and Valandra, at least, calmly rejoining while providing no explanation for their absence. Summary complete.
Woo! Well done.
That was awesome.
I greatly regret not running after.
So yes, many rewards can be found by splitting the party and rushing off with a smaller number. Remember, folks, always split the party. What could go wrong? But there were a few close calls.
I think that needs to start being our catchphrase.
Yeah, I feel like
always split the party. What could go wrong?
You painted it as such this epic, like, awesome tale, but when I read it in part, I was like, oh shit.
There were a few of those moments. A lot of potential bads that just got skated by, but the trio did return, catching up to the caravan as it continued to head to the north, only a day or two behind, falling in amongst the others. Now, since they had departed during the Perryton attack, acting somewhat as guards, chasing the heart away and causing most of the Perrytons to draw after them, it wasn't particularly marked upon by the other members of the caravan, especially since they don't seem to have shared that story much. Teller did mention, having seen the heart himself, that great wealth can be gained if you capture that heart. Its horns, made entirely of gold, can be melted down a noble's fortune, or you can demand a wish of it. But it seems that will not happen ever again, and the caravan continued on and on. And on 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 In fact, months passed traveling north along the Sword Coast. The caravan made its way all the way up through Dragon Spear, up to Jaggerford, through Waterdeep. And in Waterdeep, it finally broke apart a bit. Many of the carts moving off to the markets there, a few heading up north, planning to go to the Long Road, but the carts of most import to the party, those driven by the cultists, quickly made their way around Waterdeep, stopping on the northern side. The 7 to 10 carts that Talace's investigation and others' sharp eyes had revealed to be most likely belonging to the cultist gathered for a brief moment. Chests, bags, and other goods trading places, but in the hustle and bustle of Waterdeep, did not look particularly suspicious unless you knew who those carts might belong to. Condensed down now to 4 carts, moving to the north, grouping up with others, bound for the construction effort in the Mere of Dead Men, a swamp near the Sword Mountains. The great road that ran between Waterdeep and Neverwinter has fallen into disrepair over the century since Mount Hot now erupted and devastated the city of Neverwinter. The trade almost non-existent, but now the nobles of Neverwinter are struggling to rebuild, to reestablish the high road, and build a new road above the marsh, almost into the Sword Mountains themselves. The plan is to elevate the road high enough above the swampy ground that it can no longer be eaten away and fall into disrepair. Strong backs are needed. Guards, laborers, engineers, if you have the mind for it. They're hiring posters, people willing to pay silver for strong backs, sharp minds, or sharp swords. The cultists seem to have had this planned long in advance and are almost ready to set out as soon as they arrive, leaving the party to scramble to get together, make plans, and if they wish, join them on their march or follow after in stealth. This may be the first time in months that you've really been able to sit down and talk to one another. Several of you, because you need to maintain your disguises, at least you believe so for the moment, are absent. But those remaining can talk openly. Joey and Chloe, having traveled together. Waverly, having stuck near them. And Valandra, who no one questions. Ever. Ever. Have managed to come together, hoping that others will arrive shortly. The tavern that they have sequestered themselves into the corner to is smoky, full of the sounds of drinking and the clinking of mugs. Not very appealing otherwise, but easy enough to talk within. A round of drinks are served and turn over to the conversation and process as to what you will be doing to keep up. It looks like the cultists are planning on setting out tomorrow or the next day at the latest.
You said there were 4 carts that were deciding to continue on. Do we know which 4?
Yes, so you were able to see them taking from some carts, condensing onto others, as well as taking on supplies for road building. So stout timbers, pieces of iron, shovels, picks, and several alchemical reagents that I'm not sure anyone here would have an insight to. Does anyone here have alchemy or that sort of knowledge? Or would they like to take a stab at it?
Closest I come is herbalism.
You've never seen plants like this.
Yeah, I don't think I would be much help.
Okay. So yes, just odd bits. And of course there's the the standard block and tackle, pulleys, those sorts of things, construction equipment, and a lot of cold weather gear.
I think Dawn might know those, but he's not here yet, so.
Dawn may be out scoping them at the moment. But yes, the four carts.
It's only the 4 carts of the cultists that are continuing on. There's no.
From your group, only those 4. There's another 3 that you're not familiar with that also seem to be bunching up, preparing to go. So a total of 7 carts heading north.
Okay, so we think that these other 3 carts should be traveling alongside the 4 of the cultists?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And you have heard people have been hired, and there's a rotation of workers. So some will go up, replace those that are there, those will come back, and so on. Apparently this works quite harsh.
I'm guessing Silk Caravan and Noble Lady are not priority.
They have headed off to make their fortunes. Would you like to know what's happened to them? You can certainly keep up with them if you choose.
I mean, I assume that they at least made it to where did we land? Did you say Waterdeep?
Waterdeep, correct.
So I assume they both made it at least that far, and then probably just took off on their own route.
Heading towards the market. But you could stay in touch on Fair and Book. No. Okay.
Yes. Very.
Gotcha.
But the paperwork involved with signing up, you have to get a note from a friend and then take it to that guy and then say that, Anyway.
But it's all processed in the highly efficient L2RL system.
Spare no expense.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Cricket.
Well, I wanted to get something out of the way while we're still also waiting on other people, because she would have spent. I was thinking of what Chloe would have done over the 50 days, and if the cult was in her sights and there was really nothing to be done aside from follow them, she probably would have spent her time messing with the noble lady as much as she could have in subtle ways, just making her life as miserable as possible, and seeing her depart once we hit Waterdeep. She
knocks her out of her cart.
seeing
Everybody
her
okay there?
No, I would not have. We just knocked over something. Hold on. All right, things are not knocked over anymore. All right.
That's good.
No, seeing her head off into the market, and probably not being affected by anything that I would have done to her, because I wouldn't have outright harmed her. Just tried to be annoying. I would have looked longingly at her cart and shaken my head as somebody off in the distance plays a flute or something, and she'll just mumble to herself, "You think you own whoever is around you. Faerun is full of slaves that you can claim. But I know every orc and elfin creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. You think the only people who are worthy are the people who look and think like you. But if you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll learn things you never knew. The half-orc and tabaxi are my brothers. The mouse folk and ganassi are my friends. And we are all connected to each other in a circle, in a hoop that never ends." The end. And just kind of shake her head and hate the noble.
Very nice.
That was wonderful.
That was amazing. I'm now convinced Chloe is a Disney princess.
She definitely would not have done this around the group, though, because she would be mercilessly mocked for her singing. So she staring off into the sunset somewhere.
As Dame Fidelity heads off to go barter her wares, short one horse, but richer for 45 gold. She takes that. Well, let's find out. How about a IC performance check to see how she takes this lingering song that carries on the wind to her? Not bad. Might have given her something to think about. Maybe she will turn over a new leaf. Who knows? Among the other companions that you've had for the last 2 months, Teller is telling tales, working to gain a few extra drinks in some of the taverns nearby. Your friend with the silk dashed off eagerly to the markets. You'd have to go chasing after him to find out whether good or bad has come of him. Your friend with the furs has made his way over there, a little saddened that he did not have the golden heart coat. But he did manage to come through with all of his people intact. Same for poor Giuseppe, who stayed back because he was terrified. Okay. So that brings it back to you in the tavern. Options that are somewhat obvious on the table. Hiring on as laborers, potentially as guards, sneaking along after, because you all sneak so well. Or just blatantly marching along. And I think I need a quick insight from someone here.
I will absolutely do that.
We'll trust you to do that.
24.
All right.
Woo!
So it's been 2 months, and you're pretty sure, Balandra, that some of the cultists have picked up that some of you are watching some of them, and some of them are watching you. So you know that they know that you know that you know that they know that you know. But maybe they don't know that you know that they know that they know that you know. It got very confusing after a while. But
Yeah, I'd imagine 7 of us, as I'm sure like the carts dwindled at each stop, Waterdeep being the last one where a bunch of them jumped off. It would be a little, let's just keep going. It's so pretty.
yeah, it's still going, huh? And no plans to say where you're going to stop. I see. Weird.
Still going, changing carts,
Condensing. Oh, hey, person I don't know, but am suddenly comfortable talking to.
And, there were a few expeditions where only you lot went out. I can think of 2, at least, where there was some connecting the dots made. But they don't seem to have been able to do anything about it other than watch you watch them.
Oh, yeah, because it's like a standoff now. We're both just staring each other down going, you call my bluff, I'll call your bluff, and we're going to bluff it out here in Waterdeep.
They do not seem interested in having that bluff called.
And so we haven't heard murmurs of exactly where they're headed, just that they're on heading north on the high road.
Well, the high road basically ends at the marsh at this point. The road construction is not complete. So those carts basically have to end at the roadhouse where the construction is happening. There's nowhere further to go, at least nowhere on the map.
And so you said there's a roadhouse where basically the people that are building the rest of the high road are living.
Correct. Yep. So they'll send supplies up every 10 days or so about every 20 days. And frequently, manpower will change out. People coming home have been injured or are just exhausted, or have got enough money that they want to come drink for a while. The pay is apparently quite good. The conditions are fair. There are some dangers around, but there is one guard for every laborer, which is a very good set of odds that you get to run away while somebody else gets eaten.
Oh, well then we should totally just offer to go there. I mean, what's more adventurous, guys? Trying to describe her new reason for going north. What's a greater adventure than building a road up to, I don't know what's up there. I'm sure it's winter something. Always winter. It sounds like that's a good name for a town. Always winter.
The frontier.
Yeah.
No, it sounds really exciting.
It's a road that's like way up there. So I wonder what they're going to call it. She would probably just try and like ask around, I guess, while they're in town about like, how do you get hired up there? Exactly what do the laborers versus the guards do? Maybe some of us can disguise ourselves as both.
Sure. So I think that sounds like you're investigating your options.
I sure am.
Or you might be intimidating them out of somebody. I mean, you do have...
Well,
Let's try investigating first.
I don't mind investigating. I would also be trying to sell myself persuasively to people.
Okay,
but, yeah.
Let's start with the investigation first.
So anyway, how many, apparently I just vomit on their face.
Look, lady, you get paid, you do what you're told, you come back. Why are you asking questions?
You want to try that intimidation now?
No, I mean...
This dude does not look like he gives two flying of anything. Like, it could be sparrows and he'd expect him to walk. He's just like, look, you sign your name. I pay you when you get back. What do you want?
Well, I mean, I'm just asking because I don't know. What if I don't come back? I mean, you're going to hold my pay from me until I come back? How about half now, half later, huh? That sounds like a much better deal.
Look, you going up as a guard or as a laborer?
Do you see my armor? I'm going as a guard.
All right. Bring your own equipment, so yeah, we can put half up front for you.
She spits in her hand and holds it out.
Charming. He just like shakes the tip of your finger so he doesn't get the spit on it. Orcs. So, how long of a hitch would you like to sign up for? Goes about every 20 days. They are paying guard rates, so you're making 5 silver since you're bringing your own equipment per day.
Do I know, like, roundabouts how long it takes to travel to there? Like, would that cut into the 20 days, or?
That include travel included. So you're up and you're back in 20 days. Is that right? No, sorry, 20 days there. So 40 days, 1 month. Up and back.
Yeah, but, I mean, if we're just kind of getting an eye out, I mean, if I don't come back, I'm missing out on half of a guard's pay, which, who cares? So yeah, 1 month.
All right, so we signed you up for 1 hitch. You get your paperwork. You get your money when you head out. Stop by and turn in your chit. Reserves you a spot. Did you all go up together?
Well, I mean, seeing Chloe go up, I'd probably watch that happen, that whole entire thing, and be like, yeah, I'm with that one.
I would like to come as well.
I suppose we're all going up together, apparently.
1, 2. All right, where's the fourth one of you?
I'll put Waverly on my shoulder.
He's like, come on now. What?
You think... I bet I could fight you and win.
Hearing him go, what? Chloe will step and be like, Waverly, don't kill him.
All right, look. Most of the trouble folks run into up there are lizards and snakes. You know what lizards and snakes eat, right?
Wow, that's kind of racist.
I'm not the one eating the mice. Okay? I don't want to send up a guard that doubles as bait.
I can take care of myself. Thank you.
Also, that's exactly what you want to
And
send.
it would mean that they wouldn't be going after the workers, so she'd be doing her job.
Yeah.
That seems like a very persuasive argument. Let's hear it. Let's see.
Is that a persuasion then?
I think that's a persuasion.
Okay.
Who's doing?
Better you than
Was that
me.
my argument or his?
Either way, I'm.
Your persuasion is probably better than mine, so.
The guard's like, hey, yeah. You only eat like half as much. This is
Suddenly-
genius.
Suddenly there are hordes of mousefolk guards sent up north.
Posters go up. Sign-on bonus for mouse folk.
Are you like tilting your head back with that laugh too, Waverly?
Do I have to hold you
Absolutely.
back and balance you so you don't fall off my shoulder in this conversation?
Head back,
Waverly,
hands on my hips.
does that persuasion mean there actually is a sign-on bonus for mousefolk?
Yes, there's a sign-on bonus for mouse folk after 30 days. Yeah, but no. So 5 silver is arranged for each of you to be hired on as guards. You will provide your own equipment. They will provide food and lodging. And you will stand guard normal shift hours, which works out to about 12 hours a day, giving you time to rest and eat and sleep.
So that was 5 silver per day for 40 days, and we get half up front.
Correct.
So that's 1 platinum up front.
1 platinum up front, not paid in platinum, but yes.
Of course, yes.
Yes.
I'm gonna list this platinum because even if that's not technically what I have, you know.
Oh, yeah, no problem. You can go to one of the many coin changers in Waterdeep. He'll be happy.
Guys. I just realized what we did to the other members that aren't here. Does that mean they're all laborers? Because Talise ain't gonna like that, guys.
It could mean that they're all laborers. I think that's what just happened. Guess that's what happens when you show up late to the party. So conversation exchanged. You make arrangements. Laborers get pretty much hired sight unseen, as they're meant to just go there and labor, and if they can't labor, they don't get paid. So, they can prove their worth hauling rocks, breaking them, putting them back down, and hauling more rocks again.
I've been meaning to buy Talise a pair of blue overalls anyway, so I guess this expedites that.
There we go. So
they come with pockets. She can't get them stolen. No? Okay, never mind.
Aw.
As the arrangements are made and you are hired on as guards, the cultists sort of look over towards you, give you the furrowed brow, squinty eye. kind of pull in their lower lip and bite on it for a bit, and then just go back to what they're doing. Any additional preparations before setting out on your 1 month stint as guards?
There are a number of things that Valandra bought that I messaged you about.
Sure, not a problem. You've had plenty of opportunities to shop along the way. Several large towns passed through. So all the things I did see can have been acquired at some normal cost. You had some time to do some shopping, as well as trading amongst your caravan folk who did have a fair bit of stuff. And we'll count down from 10 in my head.
Yeah, Joey doesn't need more stuff and things. I mean,
Yeah,
caravan guard is not well paying, and he's got his turkey leg.
He does have his turkey leg. Handy dandy turkey leg. All right.
I guess I might see if I can find any of the Harpers in Waterdeep and kind of check in with them.
Sure.
See if they've heard anything and let them know where we're at.
Okay. I see Joey was fibbing and is actually buying some arrows. But let's call that. I think you need to be sneaky, or are you just like, hey, are there any Harpers here? Like, what's your modus operandi for this? Do you think you're a spy, or do you think you're a town crier?
More a spy, but can I make an argument for sleight of hand to just like make some of the symbols that we were taught sneakily, where some people were to make it seem like it might just mean nothing unless someone actually knows what it means?
Sure, I'm willing to accept that argument. So let's do some sleight of hand as you flash gang signs.
So still a -1, just not at disadvantage.
Okay.
Wow.
Pretty good. Pretty good. So the little blue girl's toughened up on the road. She's killed people. She's roughed up some Perrytons. And as she wanders around Waterdeep, she's just bam, bam, flashing the gang symbols. She does get a hit. Yeah, okay. Calm it down there. Nod from some folks as she passes. What sort of message are you trying to impart as you head over to their fine establishment, which sells all manner of salted fish?
Are we still like very much in public, or?
It's a market. I mean, you're over at there. Not a lot of people are super interested in negotiation tactics for salted fish, so the conversation's reasonably private.
Okay. I would first she just ask if they've heard anything about the what is it, the cult of Tiamat?
The cult of the dragon.
The cult of the dragon? Any new news?
The what?
About it? They haven't even heard of it. Okay. Good. Would she know, do the Harpers have like some system of communication between various, like, to communicate down to Baldur's Gate or Elturel, or is there not really anything like that?
Nothing that you've heard other than that their conversations travel in song. The wandering bards are their network of spies and informants, but it seems to go mouth to mouth, hand to hand, not leaping across great distances.
Yeah.
At least not at the low level tier.
Uh-huh. So they haven't heard of the cult of the dragon, even, it seems like, these ones?
No. Why is that troublesome?
So she'll just basically let them know where they're going and what their mission is, and tell them to be on the lookout for the cult, tell them the story behind the Cult of the Dragon, and that they've been going north from here, and just to be on the lookout, and like what our mission is from the other harpers down south.
They kind of nod along. If I hear or see anyone to pass the word to, I'll let them know. Heading north, Cult of the Dragon. Got it. Now, basically because you just did it, that you have just traveled due north 2 months from where the news of the Cult of the Dragon originated. You've probably outdistanced most other travelers.
Uh-huh.
So, them not knowing seems reasonable to you.
Yeah. No, it seems reasonable. It's just
let me rephrase that one. You see no sign of deception on their face.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yep. But yeah, I just figure if we've outpaced the news, there can only be good if the harpers up here being more prepared for the cultists than not knowing to look out for them. So
they start stocking up on holy symbols of the appropriate sort.
Okay.
All right. Anything else? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna because I assume he's still around. I'm gonna see if I can have enough money to buy some kind of riding thing for Elma.
Elmer.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Elmer.
And I'm gonna take the silk that he laid on and was resurrected on, and tear it into shreds and tie it into his hair and my hair, and I'm gonna braid his hair like my hair. I'm gonna throw a riding thing on him if I can afford it. I mean, we did just get a month's worth of pay or something like that.
I think you guys have a fair bit of money around, but you do seem to spend it frequently. Let's see here. Saddles for your Elmer. For a basic riding saddle, 10 gold pieces. We do have this lovely saddle modeled after the saddles of the High Riders of El Terrell, only 20 gold. Or this piece right here, inlaid with mithril, lighter than leather, 60 gold.
What's special about it besides that it's lighter than leather?
Well, you wouldn't want to burden your horse. The lighter the riding equipment, the faster your mount can go, the more it can carry. Your money invested here allows you to carry more and more treasure later.
In my time with Elmer, I didn't happen to learn that he was a warhorse or anything, did I?
That's an excellent question. What is Elmer? I think this is going to require one of those. Has he been purchased as an NPC sort of questions? Or are we just, leaving it to fate sort of questions?
Let me check the silver sort of question.
Because that might impact how that response happens. Dun, 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 dun.
If you really want him to be a warhorse, I could spend that 1,000 silver I just got and buy him as an NPC.
Oh no, it's okay. You keep your silver. I'm gonna spend mine.
Okay.
Okay. So Elmer, it seems, has had a rather remarkable life before he ended up pulling the cart of Dame Fidelity. Now, the dame, as you remember, was somewhat forced into the mercantile life, having sold off many of her goods, and it seems like Elmer may have served as a mount for a knight of her family at some point, or perhaps some other equally elaborate backstory. But he's shaping up pretty well now that he's been fed.
Equally elaborate backstory.
So if he's a warhorse, you just got a warhorse worth 400 gold for 45. Just so you know.
Amazing.
And that fine mount deserves a fine saddle.
Oh my god, Kyle is literally Googling braided horses. This is amazing.
Now, I know you're thinking function over fashion, but mithril, function, and fashion. 60 gold. I see you like silk. Feel this. Feel this. Right, see that? Now go against the grain. Feel that grip? Ah, that's what keeps you in your seat.
Light as a feather, yet hard as dragon scales.
And there you are.
And how much is this again?
60 gold pieces. A bargain.
All right. Well, if you can put in.
Can I insight to see if it's actually worth that much?
You certainly may.
20.
It is.
Okay.
Assuming you place value on a light saddle.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll Chloe's gonna try and persuade him to put the symbol of Torm somewhere on this heat. For no extra cost. Just carve it into there. Or stitch it in, whatever you gotta do, but it's like this, and she shows him the shield.
Okay, so here's what's gonna happen here. He's going to agree, no matter what, if you pay the appropriate amount. Your persuasion roll is going to determine the quality of what you're about to receive. So please go ahead and roll for persuasion as he reaches for both a piece of chalk and fancy embroidery thread.
Valandra casts guidance.
All right, so you see, it's a glove, but it's a metal glove,
Oh!
and it's got 5 fingers.
So as you keep talking, he's just like, whatever, lady. And he just takes the piece of chalk and just draws it in the chalk. And you get the feeling that probably if you were to sit on it, you'd have the symbol of Torm on your buttocks when you stood back up. But technically, the symbol of Torm is on there.
That's great. That looks awesome. And she kind of tries to flip it over and see if it's just as usable, flipped upside down.
It is decidedly not.
Awesome. This is
That's
perfect.
That's not how saddles work. I know that.
I will recommend you to everybody for saddles, but not for stitching. Thank you.
So yes, you have acquired a military saddle that weighs a sum total of 10 pounds.
Nice.
A 20-pound savings. And it is fancy.
Elma, you've never
Terrible
looked better.
chalk drawing of Torm.
Well, I mean, it depends on whether she's sat upon it or not. Once she's sat upon it, it's sort of a smear and an inverse Torm symbol on her butt. Or she could, clean it off. But that would be destroying
Actually
the
did it
symbol
in
of
chalk,
Torm.
that little turd.
He actually did it in chalk. He had his chalk, and he's just like, oh, okay. Oh, you're gonna be all pointy about it. Nobody likes it when you try and do the after the sale add-ons. You're like, can I get the leather protection? How about the rain protection?
What kind of check would it be to try and add that on yourself?
To try and embroider?
Yeah,
you
something
could
like
either,
that.
if you had leatherworking tools or a leatherworking skill, or if you had any other sort of skill. This is leather and metal. So
Okay.
something else would probably need to be a different piece. Like you could, of course, make, drapery to go on it. Drapery is not the right word, but I don't know the word for drapery on a horse. Whatever that is.
I'm looking up warhorse armor right now. How much for the whole suit? As we stall for other people, sorry everybody watching me dress my horse.
How much for barding is the question?
Yes.
Okay. Barding is available. It is 4 times the cost of whatever armor you would like to purchase. So, if you wish him to be wearing full plate, that's rather expensive.
Ooh,
yeah, I love you, Elma, but not right now, okay, Sweeney?
I mean, but if you do leather, it'll only be like 40.
Leather would be inexpensive. Nice chain shirt style. Too bad the pocketbook isn't here to lace us off spending it somewhere. So,
Warhorse
Elmer,
has a dex of +1, so you could get like the medium without any loss of AC.
there you go.
Hide armor, maybe. That would only be 40 gold, and that would be +2 to AC. Whichever. Valandra will that night, probably after seeing her get this terrible chalk drawing, go and see if she can try and get like a whatever it was that you couldn't think of the name for that would go across that would be like actually designed to be a symbol you add onto a warhorse.
Gotcha. Yeah, the fancy things that hang down on either side. And I don't know the name of. I apologize. I'll find that one out at some point, or feel free to look that one up and tell me.
Come on, Casey, you didn't have horse equipment prepped and, stitching or something?
I thought I would actually know that word, but it's just not one that's in my mind.
I feel like somebody should at Sean right now, and he can just literally solve all of these questions for us.
I really feel like he would, because he'd be like, oh, well, if you're doing dressage, then it's this word, but if you're doing jumping, it's that one. I'm like, what? But yes.
You're like, so I knew half of those words.
Elmer is resuming his proud stature.
Chloe, you're really not gonna take that horse and you're not gonna ride him into combat without putting armor on him.
She kind of hangs her head down as she finishes one of his last braids and looks at Joey and she's like, I spent all this money on the seat. Look, it has the symbol of... Oh, shit, where'd the symbol go?
Oh, my God.
And she's like looking all along the side of it. Where'd the fucking symbol go? He drew it. I watched him.
Baldur's Gate. And then he's going to take this omnibus sack of money and just it at her and be like, you paid for the horse. You've been feeding the horse. If you're going to ride it into a fight, put some fucking armor on the horse. And give her like 160 gold. Because that's what I have. And if you're going to buy something, you take care of it.
Apparently I'm broke now. Elma, I got all my money.
So who knew that the way to suck money out of a Monty Hall campaign is to apply animal companions? But it seems to be working. And I'm sure at this exact moment, Dusk is off buying fancy suits for Harry. And we'll find out how that goes later on. But any other purchases or arrangements to be made?
Valandra was going out to try and find one of the symbols of Torm that we can't remember the name for. Like, did you just find it, or? Oh,
yes. I mean, there are people who are willing to put in a few hours' work embroidering or otherwise assembling for you, and there are bolts of cloth. In fact, there is a fresh shipment of silk that has just arrived from surprisingly familiar, that salesperson. So if you would like, you may dress Elmer in silks and mithril as befitting his rather unknown backstory.
Okay. Yeah, so how much would that be for the symbol of Torm thing?
A holy symbol, whatever they run.
It's just the cost for a holy symbol?
Yep, just the cost for a holy symbol. It is of holy symbol quality.
Okay. And Chloe, you are aware that the scale mail would give disadvantage on stealth checks, right?
Yeah, because that's what she's worried about.
I'm just making sure. The other option is the chain. That would be 1 less AC, but would not give disadvantage on stealth.
Yeah, I don't. It's never been her strong suit. Why start now? I would probably just
Okay.
dismount.
Okay.
I just want to see it happen.
And when I get more money, I'll change your outfits. So when we got a sneak, okay, you're gonna lose this, and she'll tap on the new armor. But that's later, because after the blue overalls for Talace and all your stuff here, I'm tapped out. And thank you, Valandra and Joey for helping. Elma really appreciates it, don't you, Elma?
Oh my god.
Things have been purchased. Please make sure your sheets are up to date for reasons unknown. You have had the benefits of a long rest amongst your adventures. And I believe we are now heading north from Waterdeep along the road to the Mere of Dead Men. Anything else that would like to take place?
I don't think we can stall anymore, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Alright.
that's all I got.
So it is several uncomfortable days' journey. Several of the other laborers and guards are just throwing shifty eyes between you and the cultists and you because there is tension in the air. And they're like, okay, whatever your issue is, leave us out of it. Okay. That's weird. Who slept with who on the trip up here? So, eventually you arrive at the Karnath Roadhouse, a stone construction, which we're going to drag you over to. Too far. We'll never make it alive. All right, we're going to stop on the road. Now we're going to drag you over. And hopefully everybody should be able to see in a second.
Yes, that's a
Awesome.
big map. Yay!
That is a big map. The Roadhouse is a stone construction, a stone outer wall with one main gate that the road basically ends at because you're constructing the road the rest of the way. It is fairly high up into the Sword Mountains. This trek got a little miserable because you went from your fairly flat travels along the coastway up and up and up into the mountains, escaping the dank swamp between the mountains and the sea. Over that swamp, would everyone please give me a perception check?
Yeah. Okay.
Some of us see everything, others of us see
These look-
nothing.
These look like our stealth checks for this current group check.
Except I managed a nat 1 without disadvantage now.
Valandra only has eyes for staring people down. It's become her full-time job. Intimidation is her thing. Chloe,
Despite also being really bad at it.
Also that's why you got to work so hard. Chloe, I think Elmer's just getting all the attention. Joey, you're kind of here, kind of there. There's a lot to keep your eyes on. But Waverly, you're the one that's like, is that a dragon? Off in the distance, over the great swamp, the dark shadow of a dragon sweeps. It darts downward, disappearing into the rotting trees and mist. nowhere near you, but not nearly far enough away.
It's not good. It's not good, guys.
Whoa, what's not good? I mean, just whoa.
There's a dragon over there. Like way over there, but still I can see it, and that's not good.
There's a lot of swamp between you and it, days of travel at least, but dragon shadows might make you a little edgy for reasons unknown. You continue north, though, keeping up with the much smaller caravan until you reach the roadhouse, the walls of stone inviting in. There's an open courtyard, a balcony overhanging it, allowing entrance to several upstairs rooms. It's not big, but it is very full of people, and in just a few minutes, it'll be very full of people, carts, and horses. The laborers, some 30 in all, come out to help with the unloading of the carts. An enormous half-orc, maybe not as muscular as certain party members, but very gifted in the gut, comes out. Aye, Bogluck. If there's anything you all want to store in the strong room, make it known. We'll get it stored and under lock and key. No locks on the doors. They freeze overnight, and I don't want to hear people saying they can't get out or they can't get in. You pick a room, forward to a room, you sleep there. I don't want any fights. Don't want any questions. Do as you're told. Time pass real easy. Old Pete up there handles the food. You'll be told where to go, when to eat, when to sleep. As long as you do as you're told, you'll be fine. Hey, umps. And 4 younger boys and girls come out from one of the stables. That's Lump. That's Bump, Jump, Wump. No, well, they're the umps. They take care of the animals. Now let's get all this unloaded, get these carts underway, so we can get back to work tomorrow. And about 15 to 20 laborers, 5 or 6 guards keeping an eye on things, come down into the middle area and start working to unload. Some of the heavier, obvious items, poles, shovels, get piled against the wall outside. Casks and crates get selected and brought in. Certain chests, Bogluck, the orc singles out. Strong room, strong room, strong room. And they get carried through the storage area into a much smaller room and left there. As this is all underway, he goes around to each of the people, yourself included. Anything you need to store in the strong room. Looks first to Joey.
Like he's trying to pat himself, and he's checking his backpack. He's like, I got fucking nothing.
He looks good, man. Looks to Chloe.
The only thing that's valuable to me is sweet little Elma here.
God.
Aww.
Well, and all of you, of course, but, I don't want to shove you in a room.
And Chloe, do me a favor. Just roll me a raw charisma.
Oh, boy. Oh, sorry. Is that okay?
That's totally fine. Bogluck's eyes go heart-shaped for a moment as he looks towards you. Okay. Yeah, the Ohms will take real good care of you. And then he moves to the others. Valandra, anything for you, little one?
Can I make an insights check to see if he's like trustworthy? If he thinks at least that our stuff is actually safe in this room?
Sure, absolutely, May.
22.
You keep an eye on what he's doing, and the others that have given him things over, and some of the laborers that will be leaving that have retrieved things. You've seen him bring out a journal, a ledger, meticulously documented with each item, and everything he is given gets written in. Everything he gives back gets crossed out, and he shows the ledger at each step. So it would definitely seem he believes this to be secure, and at least for the folks leaving, that it's proven that way.
And so just a question, are the carts that the cultists were on, did they also come here, or?
They also came here. The entire caravan has stopped here.
Okay.
Caravan being now 7 carts.
And are they like guards and workers too, or posing themselves as that?
Most seem to be, though a few of the cultists, or at least those you believe to be cultists, seem to be staying on the carts as drivers.
Okay. And are any of them leaving stuff in the storeroom?
How about a perception on that one?
Okay. Perception. 24.
Nicely done. Yes, some of them have stored personal items. You see healing potions. You see ring. You see other things that would easily go missing if not watched. The healing potions, it looks like someone has brought along an entire crate that he once stored there. You see a little bit of wine put aside. And you notice as you're watching that a high, or at least higher, percentage of the goods coming off the cultists' cart, as compared to the others that join later, are being singled out to go into that strong room as well.
Valandra will put, just a moment. Yeah, Valandra will put her her bestiary of dangerous things and her ceremonial bowl in the storeroom.
Okay. So Bog takes your goods, sets them down on a barrel, starts documenting what they are. Book, bestiary of dangerous things. Bowl, ceramic. And he just sort of lists it out, so it's very clear that this is exactly that item. And as he's doing so, you learn a few things. One, he has excellent handwriting. He spells quite well. He seems to be rather educated for the fact that he's an enormous, girthy, 3/4 orc. And two, you hear from one of the carts, one of the more troublesome of the cultists, call out, "Oi, Bog, keep an eye on that one. She's been watching the pay chest the whole way up here. Don't let her near that storeroom." Bogsley, "Don't let anyone near the storeroom."
So are we inferring that Bog is the one that watches the storeroom? I'm sorry, I didn't know if he said that.
Yep, so Bog is the only one, it seems, that keeps mind over the storeroom and has the key to it. And you can see that he has unlocked it and locked it on several occasions as boxes have headed in there. Now, transport in and out to the plain old storage room, which is this entire area down over here, is fairly open. This smaller room in the back, though, and I hope I'm on the right layer, and I'm not. This is fairly open. This is locked tight. You hear a bit of grumbling at the idea that you might be after the laborer's pay. But the grumbling passes unless you act upon it.
No. When that exchange happens, do the cultists seem to be on especially good terms with Bogluck or the people here? Like, do they seem to know each other?
Well, that cultist certainly know him. How about an insight again?
Okay. 25.
Jesus, Philander.
Just
Doing it.
Just keep calling for those wisdom checks, please.
So, I mean, it seems like they're fairly familiar. Either they've made this route before, which is kind of odd, because he started 2 months travel to the south. But most of the laborers here don't seem to respond particularly knowledgeably. The ones that you've traveled with, of course, know each other.
Uh-huh. But they seem to be unusually familiar.
They seem to be unusually familiar with Bog.
Okay. It's good to know.
Now, as the carts continue to get unloaded, there's a fair number of hands at work, and it's basically just get it.
It's basically
Cars.
what?
They're just basically getting everything off the carts so they can turn around, get the carts out the door, heading back south. They're unloaded. Yep, good.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna go up to Bog and just be like, so I know you said the umps take care of the pets, but he's new and he's very scared, and I just thought you look like someone that's very capable of doing good work, and is there an ump that you would recommend that I go to? You seem like you're in charge around here. Trying to basically butter him up.
Are you? Because that came through loud and clear. How about a butter up roll, please?
Oh, good. I'm proficient in buttering up.
You are proficient in buttering up.
He is very good at buttering up. The butter is applied, and Bogluck says, Womp would be the best of the batch. I mean, he's the quickest. He's a little brighter than the others. At least pays attention. The others, I mean, they do a good job. But Womp's your boy.
Okay,
and
can I visit Elma at any time? And we're very nervous, and she'll just kind of like try and whisper to him, be like, we're this is our first big adventure, and we're just very nervous about our stuff and our Elma's being okay. And I just wanted to know that, if we ever wanted to check on our items in storage, would we be able to, come find you and you walk us in there, supervised entirely, of course, and, so we could check and make sure our stuff is okay? Would that be okay, Bog?
Well, you can go ahead and visit Elmer anytime you want, but once it's in the storeroom, it's there till it comes out again. That's how we keep it safe. In and out through the ledger.
Oh, but we can take it out anytime as long as we come and get you, to write it down that it's out of there, right?
Sure. Yeah, if you need something, it seems to be stumbling a little bit. You can come to my quarters anytime.
Oh God.
Oh.
She will definitely
Well,
pick up what he's laying down, but try and play it off like Anyway, she's picking up what he's laying down, but she's like, "Oh, that sounds great. Where are your quarters again? Just so I know for information."
And Bog turns and gestures to the lower left, this room down here. It's the only other door with a lock on it, aside from the secured storeroom. All the others just have a sliding bar accessible from both sides.
Oh, you've got the... Oh, okay. Yeah, ground level. That totally makes sense. Okay, well, that's good. Good to know. You... And she just wiggles her finger at him and walks away. Just very awkwardly.
Buttered him up a little too well, huh?
Yes.
With that, by the way, sorry, with that perception on seeing if any of the cultists were putting stuff in the storeroom, are they unloading everything from the carts?
Yes, everything is taken off the carts. A lot of the supplies stay outside. You know, the lumber, a lot of the stone, the concrete mix, that sort of stuff, things that are not susceptible to weather. Things that are susceptible to weather are going into the main storage area. Nails, the tools, that sort of thing. Things that are singled out as being particularly important, along with your goods that you asked to be secured, go back into the locked storage room. Several of the things going back there...
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, several of the things going back there are a little big and bulky for what you would think a mining / road construction operation would need and would have as an expensive item. But
so since we believe that we have reason to believe that all the treasure that was stolen from down south was on those carts and they're unloading everything, it's fair to assume that they're putting most of that in the storeroom?
That would be a very fair assumption.
Okay.
You would even hazard to guess it's going behind the locked door.
Yep.
And for future reference, we'll call one the strong room and one the store room.
Gotcha. Does Bog seem to... Is it when they put stuff, particular stuff in the strong room away and he has that ledger, is that done like in private, or does he inspect it out where like the others, when I brought my stuff up, were around to shout at him to be wary?
One giant black dragon egg, check.
Everyone that has given him a personal item has been done out in public, added to the ledger in public and semi-publicly announced. The items that he singles out from the carts were not opened in public. He just is pointing at certain ones, and those go in the strong room.
Okay.
Unexpected, it seems.
Who's loading this stuff into the stuff from the carts that he's not singly pointing out? Does he have like a bunch of lackeys around loading stuff?
He seems to be the only one that crosses from the storeroom into the strong room. But everyone's bringing stuff into the storeroom and other places. And he's a fairly big fellow, so the chests that are being brought in by two people, he's often listing all by himself.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just going to bring some people over here for reasons. As you guys glance around, you realize actually only 6 carts have shown up. One seems to have lagged behind. You can see it off in the distance, stuck in a rut. Those who aren't here right now seem to be there. A little ways away.
Is it one of the 4 that are the cultist ones?
It is not.
It's not? Okay.
It is not.
Should we go help them?
Oh, it'll be fine. They'll be along in a second or two.
By the way, is it clear? Is he our boss or?
He seems to be the boss of the place.
Okay.
Until another fellow steps out. Right. So, you're the new guards then. Mardred, be in charge of your shifts. Bog over there is in charge of the place, but I handle the defenses so he can concentrate on the working. Now, they all seem to be properly geared, at least on the outside. And why in the world did they send up a mouse folk?
Well, I hope you never have to see why.
Huh.
It's not pretty.
Oh, fair enough. Oh, as long as you stand watch, don't care much. Just make sure you can see over the walls.
Can we? Sorry. Can we see into the strong room at all when he carries my stuff in, or are we not in the storeroom at that point?
So you could certainly help unloading the carts. You're not laborers, so you're not expected to, but they don't mind a little extra help bringing things into the storeroom. And a glance into the strong room shows a large number of chests, boxes, crates, and barrels, many of which have just been added. It's not a particularly large room, only maybe 15 by 25 or so feet, and it's stacked pretty full with the cart's equipment. A smaller section seems to be put aside for loose items, and that is where your bowl and other effects are now neatly stacked.
Can I make a perception check as I glance back in there a couple times as I'm loading stuff into the room to see if I can see anything unusual, like any cult symbols or anything that doesn't seem like it belongs, and any trap doors, I guess, anything unusual that I might notice in the strong room?
Yes, you may. Please roll that and a stealth check.
Okay. Okay, excellent. Stealth and not sleight of hand?
Stealth and not sleight of hand, yes.
That's unfortunate. Do you guys mind if I take a group inspiration so I'm not at disadvantage for this?
Do it.
Go for it.
Do it.
19.
Whoa.
I am
Hey,
glad I took
that's
that
not
inspiration
bad.
there.
So that means this has got to be a 19, a 20, or a 21, or a 22. And a 15 is not that. So your eyes cast about, and it seems just like a room for storing stuff. I mean, there's a lot of crates in there, and you do recognize part of them. You would call them cultist crates just because you've been eyeing them for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
But there's no symbols on them, nothing that jumps out at you, and certainly no trapdoors.
Okay. Cool.
All right. And with that, the carts are unloaded, the crates stowed. There's still a bit of sorting to be done and crates to be opened, equipment doled out. But the carts get underway, headed back south, taking away 15 to 20 laborers with them, walking alongside the carts, leaving behind you, the new guards, several of you, the new laborers, and some of those who stay behind you recognize as companions from along the way, giving you the old shifty eye. It's later in the afternoon, heading toward evening. It seems like there's not going to be any work or drills tonight. Bogluck, go on up and see Pete. He'll get you set up for food. Pick rooms, just grab an empty bed. Don't mess with other people's stuff and get along fine. Upstairs, Pete, in the southeast corner, has the fire going, food being cooked. He's dressed quite nobly. Fine doublet, many times stained. Tight hose over a not-so-tight body. Great bushy beard, full of old food bits. The trick, Pete tells you, is to pretend you're eating fine food. And I am here to pretend to be serving you fine food. The other trick is drink a lot of the beer.
I can do that.
Can you? You don't seem built for it.
I might surprise you.
Ah. He sets you up with a tankard. He sets you up with some gruel. Now, you seem to be carrying weapons. If you happen to be outstanding guard, you happen to see a bit of food going by on the hoof, and you happen to bring it back. You might happen to get a bigger piece come dinner time. Taps the side of his nose and points to you. Evening passes, food is served. The other cart catches up. They look muddy, icy, and exhausted. Your companions come in, have their food, and stagger off to go sleep off their exhaustion in one of the rooms, leaving the four of you to decide what to do this evening, if anything. On your first night in the Carneth Roadhouse. And yes, I saw and got everything there. There's a whole horde of things.
And we have it all saved in the group thing, too, because I got tired of typing in chat, so it's all in the group silver record.
Yep. Now, the four of you seem to have clumped together. Guards clumped together. The cultists have obviously noticed that you didn't start off clumped together that way. But aside from their shady looks, anything as you head to bed.
Did we pick a room? You said it was 4 to a room, right?
Yep, 4 to a room.
I guess we're all rooming together.
That would probably be the best idea.
Sure, so go ahead and pick a room. Bog knows which one he hopes you pick.
Yeah, I would, in our little huddle of awkwardness, I would definitely be like, look, I definitely am not comfortable with the way he's looking at me, but I think I got an advantage here, and we're just going to keep it and hold on to it, you know, for reasons and stuff. So I think it would probably be best if we took the room next to him.
I mean, if you want to.
Trust me, it's not for convenience sake. I don't like what you're thinking, Waverly, but it's just, you know, it might come in handy later, is all I'm saying.
I'm not sure you should be considering prostituting yourself out.
Her eyes are gonna go wide. She's like, look, I know I've been spending some time with Talace, but that is not what's going on here.
Okay, good.
Oh,
I'm
like
talking
Joey will
about-
actually do.
Shots
talking about getting an opportunity when he clearly wants in your pants. I don't know. Just be careful, okay?
She's just
be
like,
careful.
every time you continue another sentence, she's just like, stop it. Oh, God. Okay. I'm just saying. Okay. So we got an advantage. You know, he seems like the person to know here. So, you know, I'm just saying. If you guys find another room that you like, by all means, we'll do that.
And Valandra will just point out that he also seems to be a person that they know quite well, glancing over at the cultists. In case anyone hadn't picked up on that.
Do we happen to see any giant dangly bags on Bog's belt of, the money-shaped variety? Not like I'm looking to steal from him. I'm just wondering if he looks like he's taken bribes.
You know what? That seems like a reasonable thing to check. How about a perception and a stealth?
Why the ants? That's not...
Here,
Damn it.
here, I'll look for you. Here, no, let me look for you. It'll be fine.
Can I help her by distracting him with tiddly fingers like,
Sure.
I don't like it any more than you do, Casey. You started this.
So let me just make sure I'm totally clear. You're distracting Bog so you can have your friend check out his, dangly bits.
His bags of gold. She's looking for bags of gold on his belt.
Right.
Isn't everyone?
I ain't saying she's a gold digger.
Womp,
Wah,
womp.
wah. Don't. We already sang the song of the night. It's over.
So that was perception and stealth
Perception and a stealth, please.
with advantage.
With advantage.
Nice.
Very nice. And could I have a raw charisma roll for the tiddly fingers? And Waverly, you don't notice any giant bags of money hanging from Bog's belts, though after a moment's thought,
Damn it.
you're like, he'd probably just keep that in the strong room. What you do notice, however, is his scabbard is very similar to those that you recovered from the cultists in the caves. In fact,
Oh.
they could be part of a matched set, and I think you might even have those still in amongst the equipment in the party. I don't recall those being sold, but whether or not you have them, that is certainly a match. Bog is quite smitten with the tiddly fingers, but there you go. Anything else?
I think we sold most of them, but I think I kept one.
Okay.
I think I have that on my sheet here.
So you may have a matching piece of equipment to the scabbard for Bog's sword. It is a fairly sizable blade. And he seems to wear it fairly naturally. Likely he could swing it around quite well. Anything else?
I mean, I guess, unfortunately, there isn't really anything to deal at the time. So, I'll just kind of shuffle back and nod in the direction of his scabbard.
Oh.
You see,
Oh.
you see that? You see that?
Ah, crap.
See, this is why I didn't put anything in the storage room.
Yeah, I put something in the storage room in case we needed an excuse to get the door open.
I mean, that's fair, but I don't trust my stuff in the storage room.
I mean, it wasn't anything I couldn't bear to lose, so.
Yeah, I have a feeling that we might not even be able to get in there, but at least as long as we know where it is. I just have to know about where the stuff is that's inside of it.
So as the night winds on, eventually Pete starts chasing people off. They head back to their rooms. It seems that generally a pair of guards and a pair of laborers take up in each of the rooms, reasonably evenly split up, though not always the case. Bog eventually heads back to his room, and the patrols for the evening begin. You haven't been given word that you should be patrolling. But as it gets darker and darker, Gristle Pete gets his fire banked, spreads out a bedroll on the floor right next to the fireplace. Kind of gives you the, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here look. Starts playing closing time.
All right, I guess we better head to bed.
Too bad. Yay.
Yeah. Good luck sleeping, Pete calls out as you head off. Don't let the rats keep you awake.
What is... She looks confused. Good luck sleeping. That's a weird thing to say. Okay, you too, buddy.
Oh, I mean, rats out here. I mean, they're... He just holds his arms apart way too far.
Really?
Are
Well-
they unusually sized, largely?
Thank you. I was
I mean,
trying to figure how to work that in.
they probably got a foot on your friend there. I mean, at least by the way they sound. I don't see too many of them standing up, though. That's a little weird.
Well, I'm guessing sort of. I don't know what it is with you giant people and rodents. I really don't.
Well,
But
a lot of them eat the food and don't work for it. And I'm in charge of the food, and that's why I gotta sleep up here, keep them off. And he pats his trusty ladle.
all right. Just make sure that they are actually just rats. Please.
If you get a midnight munchie, just make sure you say something before you come creeping over.
Yeah, okay. That sounds fair.
Down, holds his ladle. You guys head off to bed?
Yeah, is there some weak like glass on the table, or like I guess I just want to put something in this door here so that if it gets opened, it makes a crunching sound that we can listen to overnight.
Sure.
Or, hey guys, does anybody have anything that makes a noise when you like move it?
I don't know. Did anybody buy like a bell or chimes or have anything like that?
I have a bell. Sorry, my mic was off. I'm trying to talk. I have a bell.
Do you really?
I do.
Okay.
I also have a bag. I also have a bag of ball bearings. So I don't know if you want to like lay in a good trap. Just kind of spread
well.
some ball bearings over the floor. Just in
I
case
was
anyone-
thinking more information and less Home Alone, but I really like Home Alone plan.
Come on, let me do the ball bearings.
I'm all for the Home Alone plan. Noting that this is an open courtyard, patrols have started, so there will have to be some sort of sneakiness involved in this. If you would like to, though, you certainly may.
I mean, it's your call, Waverly. I just think if we have something that'll make some noise at this door if it gets opened, and then if we're sleeping right over here, it's real close.
Well, if you prefer, I got a bell. We can just tie it to the door. But we could also put some ball bearings on the floor on inside our room. Just remember they're there if you get up in the middle of the night to pee, you know?
So now we find out who still sleepwalks.
Actually, that sounds like a great way to figure out if you've got a character who's like possessed. Ball bearings on the floor. You'll figure it out real quick.
So
which room? Which room is the one next to?
So I believe you are ending up here for the evening. But the entrance that I think you're talking about trapping is right here. So as you come down the stairs, am I on the right layer? Yeah. As you come down the stairs from the restaurant/eating area, you have the opportunity to sneakily tie a bell to the door handle and potentially spread ball bearings about if you choose. Who is doing this activity if they are doing this activity?
Are we doing
The-
it?
The bell seems like a better idea than the ball bearings to me.
Probably. All right, let's sneakily tie the bell to the door.
Okay.
I'll stand in front of Waverly.
Fair enough.
Not hard.
So, let's go ahead and set the bar here. There are 2 guards on patrol. They are looking for suspicious type things. One is on the ball. The other not so much. With advantage, 21, and you are doing suspicious things near the storeroom. Excuse me, 20, and you're doing suspicious things near the storeroom. But you have advantage, and let's see what happens.
Oh god. Okay.
Wow. A bell has been applied to the storeroom door. Looks like it's always been there. Who doesn't remember the bell? You make your way back to your room. And
Has this tree always been here? Yes, I have. Well, it would know better than us.
seems like it would. If I could please have a perception from each of the characters. Oh, you guys are all over this bell. You lay down, an hour passes, 2. Some of you even catch little mouse naps. But then, eyes go wide as you hear the little ching ching. Somebody's moving about in the storeroom and has disturbed the door. It didn't give the big clatter that you would expect if the door had been opened. Maybe it could have been a strong breeze blowing through. The doors aren't locked, so they do rattle about a bit. But maybe not.
We should check.
With a 25, like, do I hear anything else besides the sound of the bell? Or am I tunnel visioned?
How about you awoke on the tunnel vision? You are 100% certain that bell moved and it was related to the door. How about an insight to see if you can come up with something else? Definitely the door did not open, but definitely things are moving around inside of it. You would suspect that it was a sudden change in pressure that caused the door to shake and the bell to ring. Perhaps the pressure of an inner door opening while the outer door remained closed.
Can I see if I can hear anything in the room next to us?
Sure.
Do I have another perception?
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a perception. So, you're pretty sure Bogluck is awake. You can hear something going on in the room next door, but no idea what.
I feel like we should look. Like, very carefully open the door and take a peek out.
Waverly, Waverly.
I feel like you should maybe do that.
You're very tiny, and you have a little bladder, and you had a little too much to drink. Where's the potty?
Yeah, where is the bathroom? I was gonna ask that because that seems like a good excuse.
The bathroom is the stables.
Okay.
Please tell me, like, Waverly has this cute little nightcap that she comes out and squidgies her eyes, like, where's the bathroom?
That's too cute. That's too cute. Okay.
Striped nightgown pajamas. I like it.
All right. I'm gonna go out and take a
So,
look.
are you going out in the where's the bathroom? I am obviously just walking around. Or are you going out in the I am a ninja and bathroom is my fallback plan?
But I'm a ninja and the bathroom is my fallback plan.
Fair enough. If I could have a stealth check, please. And there are still 2 guards out watching for suspicious things. I don't know that they're not that good. So you wait until the guards are making a loop of the upper floor, keeping an eye out. You sprint across. The door on the far side seems closed. You can hear movement within, but it's dark. Whatever is going on in there is happening without light. You would have to open the door to see inside, or do some trick that I don't know about.
Wait a minute.
What?
Just a moment. I need to check my spell list.
People are also like, wait, we have new tricks.
Oh shit. Yes. I will cast clairvoyance
Okay.
to see inside the storeroom, a place I have seen at least once and is within 100 feet.
Okay.
I think that's within. Yeah, that's within 100 feet. These are 5-foot squares, right?
Those are 5-foot squares.
Okay.
This seems like it may work. So here's a couple of questions.
And I just recently bought the focus. I didn't have enough to buy both the glass eyeball and the horn, but I bought the glass eyeball.
Okay.
So I can do visual. I can't do audio.
Okay.
Yeah.
So visual. Do me a favor and pull that one up and tell me if it gives you dark vision, because I don't think you have dark vision.
Ah, shit. I don't think it does. Where is it here?
Okay. So you see a darkened room.
Damn.
Please give me. Let's see. Is there any? There's no light. It is a darkened room. You might occasionally, like a little bit of moonlight under the door. You might just pick up a shape blocking that out, but it's just a teeny tiny line of light that just goes black and then bright again for a second. I don't think there's going to be any light in there for you to work with.
All right, here's an idea. What if I open that door and then hide to let the light in and then hide myself?
Sure.
That could work.
Yeah. Open it and then hide.
Around the corner there, or
Yeah, around the corner.
Okay.
open it and then, or open it and then head for the stables to use the restroom.
Yeah.
Okay.
right.
So the plan is open the door and then hide.
Yeah.
Okay.
See if get some light in there and also see if anybody comes out.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The door opens. Waverly, please roll me a dexterity saving throw. The DC is whatever you roll plus 5. So let me say that one again. So let me say that one. Roll me a dexterity saving throw, add 5 to it, and roll me a dexterity saving throw again.
And you got cheered in Twitch chat, by the way, Waverly, for your good idea.
Okay,
Oh,
so your DC is a 24. please roll me a dexterity saving
Oh
throw.
my god.
Take one of the group
Yeah, take the thing.
inspiration.
You know, no,
Take
you
the
know what?
thing.
I have an inspiration that I've been holding on to for
Okay,
like
use it.
a million levels.
Okay. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, we totally forgot to like take the bell off before
You
you opened
did!
the door.
Oh!
You 100% trapped the door.
Immediately,
The chime when opened.
immediately when you said dexterity save, I was like, shit, it's too late.
Yep, you have trapped the door well. So Waverly, please roll a 24 or better to not set off your own trap.
Oh my god.
Oh, you
Oh,
got
we have
real
a reroll.
close.
We have a reroll.
If you wish to, you
I got a
certainly
reroll?
may.
Use it. Use it
Okay.
right now.
Okay, I'll use the reroll. Oh my god.
So close.
So close.
Waverly, you cast the door
Oh.
open. You look up, you watch the bell swinging out.
Oh
Mace, like, you're like, oh, and you go to jump and grab it, you're like, I can't. And then, clang, 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 bang, ching, ching, ching. And you're like, oh, please roll a stealth check to hide.
Oh my god.
All right. Why do you? Oh, did you forget to turn advantage off, or do you have
I forgot
advantage?
to turn I forgot to turn advantage off.
Wow. So only an
Shit.
8.
And we just used the last reroll.
Are you sure?
Yes,
All
right.
please.
Okay.
Like, when have you ever rolled an 8? Oh my god.
All right. So our 2 inept guards are going to look over for some reason, and maybe. Oh. Oh. Our inept guards do look over, and they see that someone has done something really weird and cast open the storeroom door, and is now running away into the night. The alarm, well, they don't really need to sound it. You already did that for them. However, as that begins to happen, Valandra gets a bit of light to work with. It's not a lot. It's just moonlight. The guards carry their small lights with them. I need a perception, Valandra, and your perception needs to beat a 9.
Should I use
Come
the
on.
last group inspiration, guys?
Yeah, go for it. We
Because
can-
I can probably beat a 9, but like if I roll a 3, we're all gonna feel really dumb about this.
Nah. Do it.
Okay.
All right.
Oh.
Valandra, you see humanoid forms, many of them, at least a dozen, scrambling to move out of the light. Elongated snouts, tails, hairless. Many of them had boxes in hand. They rush towards the strong room. Many of them disappearing in there. You can't see into the strong room, still too dark, but too many ran in that direction to fit. The door, the bang bang, closes. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, if it helps you, Waverly, with whatever you're trying to do, and Valandra, Joe bought us start a rumor, so we could, use that down the line. Sorry.
All right.
Ooh.
Yep. Okay. The strong room door bangs shut, but it doesn't seem they take the time to lock it. As all this happens, pandemonium. You hear, almost as if on cue, someone saying, "Hey, they really were after the strong room. Get them!" And as a lot of things start to go wrong, we're going to pause
Oh no.
and pick up next week. I will ask for one thing first, though. I do need each of the people present roll 2d4. You want to roll low. That is the number of people who believe you are highly suspicious and will probably come out weapons ready. That's a lot so far.
Oh God.
Sure, roll hard for this one.
Rolling solid, guys.
Oh my god.
20 so far.
20
Plus
so
however
far.
many Chloe rolls. 26.
26.
Good. Excellent.
There are approximately 28 total people. So 2 of them
No!
might be like, are you sure? The rest may be out for your blood. So a lot of very angry guards and laborers are about to emerge from many, many rooms. And we'll see what happens then. Because who knows, maybe you can talk your way down from this situation. Over the course of the next few minutes, I may roll initiative for, let's say, 26 people. For no reason. Just so we don't have to roll the initiative for picking a number, 26 people at the start of next session.
We're in the room. How are they? Like, come on. There's gotta
Wait.
be. I get that there's no trials here, but damn, we're in the room.
Yeah, there's a... I think you may have picked...
full of kobolds. The
Those-
room is full of kobolds.
It was one of those rats. They're giant. We talked to Gristleback,
Giant.
Meat Man over there, and he said that the rats were big. They probably set off this door.
Chloe, do you really want to be arguing it's the large rat's fault right now? With the
From
only...
inside my safe room? Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
no,
from
I'm
inside my
saying
safe
is,
room
no.
with the door
If
closed.
you're saying, hey, it's the large rat that's the problem, this finger pointing that you're doing, it might not be towards just, rats, because there's just, the large rat.
Oh, I thought I heard her. I thought you said she ran out the door or something. Maybe not.
Well, she's running away as we speak. But, if you're like, it's the large rat's fault that the money's being stolen.
Yeah. Waverly just puts up her hands and goes, "That's not the bathroom. Also,
Yes.
that room. Also, the storeroom is full of kobolds. Somebody do something."
Yes, the storeroom is full of kobolds, and it's not the bathroom. This adds up. This is how you do a lie.
Wait, quick question before we go to Tavern Talk. Are we assuming that like Dawn and Dusk and all of them are with us, right?
Yes, they are in a room. I will let them pick their room. They can choose to be together or spread out. They will have heard this commotion, have not been involved in this plan because they were too tired from their horrendous mud and ice stuck in the thing that happened. But they're rested up now. And we'll see how that plays out. One thing I will ask you to consider thoroughly is whether you were suspicious enough to not have doffed your armor before laying down to rest. And on that one, we'll pick up next week. And, it could be perhaps because ads were purchased that the number reached 26. Could be perhaps that Bog and some of the others are fairly skilled sword people because ads were promoted. Who knows? But there's a lot of trouble about to come down.
Sorry.
But I hope everybody's having a good time.
Damn it. I totally forgot that it was 4 to a room because I was going to say, I was going to steal Dawn's glasses and be like, Beverly, you forgot your glasses. How are you gonna find the bathroom without your glasses? But I guess it'll look a little weird if I run into the room next to us, knock on it, barge in, steal Dawn's glasses, and then go, "Oh, Beverly."
That might be quite the stealth check.
It
you
is my
guys
strong
can,
suit.
You guys can certainly try to talk your way out of this. But I think you may have picked up. There's some subtle hints that a few of the people here may have cultist leanings. And I don't know if this is really going to be like a fair trial or more of like a Alice in Wonderland, Queen of Hearts kind of trial.
Yeah,
Could go either way.
I'm trying to decide whether the smartest plan is just, since they didn't lock the strong room door, is just to run into the strong room, assuming there's probably a trap door there because there were way too many kobolds going in there than could fit,
And
and
actually,
try and follow them.
Belandra, give me a quick insight check if you would.
Okay,
I know you're good at these, but let's just double check.
19.
Yeah, it's okay. Too big for kobolds. Far too tall. At least 3 kobolds high, maybe?
Oh. They're not kobolds. They're not kobolds. Shit.
They are not kobolds. But we'll find out whether that comes into play later on. Prater, how's it going? Yes, we are wrapping up. We do the 2-hour sessions and then a tavern talk for our Tyranny crew. And they have just managed to incite a riot within this prison-like structure. Perhaps we'll see what happens when a prison-like structure riots when there's one exit and they're far away from it. Just one.
Boy, I really should have butted Bog up a little bit more.
You were so close. So close. Maybe if you'd been the one investigating out there, you're like, is this Bog's room? He'd be like, yes. That's my room now. What am I doing in this one?
It's okay. I'm sure Talace can get us out of this.
Yeah,
Talace,
absolutely.
Ash, help. I shall watch this, but help.
Everything was going so well.
It really was.
You guys are doing amazingly well.
And then we forgot our own frickin' trap.
And then a thing happened. Yes. And I apologize for being unclear about how the roll was going to go. In my head, it made sense when I first said it. I'm like, no, that wouldn't make sense to anyone else unless you understood I was setting a difficulty and then doing the thing. So yes, it was.
Yeah,
your
it wasn't clear it was 2 rolls. It sounded like you're like, roll a thing, and then your DC is 5 higher than that, so you failed.
Yes. Yeah, sorry about. I realized as my brain was like, oh, that's right. No, I have to say the whole sentence to people for them to understand what I'm talking about.
She was so close too.
It was so
really
close.
Almost pulled it together, but didn't remember about the alarm.
Just out of curiosity, in the future for situations like that, could we use inspiration to use the worst one?
No. Inspiration always grants you advantage. It does not work the other way. So you will always take the good roll. Let's see here. You could use a D20 reroll. D20 reroll can get you a lower number. Luck can get you a lower number. But in that situation, you guys really did a good job setting up your trap. You guys were all over it, listening for it. And unfortunately, it really sounded like the plan was throw the door open quick and then run and hide. So I think that was a fair excitement response.
Alrighty. So I don't know if you guys want to try and plan if you guys want to try and plan a tavern talk for tonight, but I might have you host it, Casey, because I gotta...
Actually, you know what? I think if you guys are okay, I will hop out too, and we will hold the official tavern talk till after everybody gets together and we see how well or poorly this fight goes. You guys did do some cool stuff, but I'd like to get the other people's input on it as well, and also give a chance for the recap for what the three accomplished on their special adventure in that one. So if it's all good with everybody, I'll bail. We'll stop the stream, and then we can pick back up next week.
One last question. So the starter rumor that Joe bought at the pivotal moment of Waverly setting off the alarm. I don't suppose we'd be able to have started that when we entered town, would we? Or
I mean, it really depends on what rumor Joe is starting.
Well, Joe gave it to the group, so I'd say the group would decide. So if the
Joe
DM
gave
says,
it to the group.
I know Joe's such a kind-hearted person.
Joe is a kind-hearted person. What sort of gossip has been starting then?
The rumor is that we're all very, very trustworthy.
Is that the rumor?
Can we do that?
Very trustworthy.
Did you have something in mind, Sin?
I was just going to start some kind of rumor about how bad Baverly and Mousefolk are at seeing in the dark, and how they can't help themselves from running into doors, and just basically that they get lost and sleepwalk a lot.
Okay. So what the rumor I think is on the road. You did have a couple of days on the road, with cultists glaring at you, and some potentially neutral guards and laborers in between. You were spreading the rumor that the guard Waverly was useless.
Useless at night? Can I be specific? Like, she sleepwalks.
She sleepwalks.
Yeah, she gets up and just wanders off. I mean, she's done it before. She wandered off into the dark and came back all bloody and, like she had gotten into battle.
That seems like the sort of rumor that would find fertile ground upon people who are not particularly your fans. So, yes, I can see where the majority of the people have, look, if you're going out at night, don't let that little mousefolk be your guard. I mean, you might as well walk out there and just feed yourself to the bogwumps.
Oh.
Sorry, Baverly. That might get us advantage on something later, but that's about the best I could do.
It's okay. I ruined everything, so...
At least you look adorable being lost. You're so cute, your little nightcap.
You did not at all ruin everything. There were a lot of clutch rolls there, which you only got by because of those. It was just a little bit of luck pushing, and then a misremembered trap that did you in. But you've exposed the seedy underbelly of the Karnath Roadhouse. Now let's see what we do with it.
Yeah, I call that a win, Waverly. That's a win. That's not a fail.
Are you sure?
I mean, it succeeded in what we were trying to do with it. It just also alerted other people that we had done something.
See, you got to think about that from Joey's perspective. Primary objective, accomplished. Secondary objective, what are you going to do?
And technically, all she did was open a door. So, I mean, I get the circumstances around this, but let's be fair here. She just knocked into a door in the middle of the night. And she has to tinkle. Can she tinkle first, guys? Anyway.
Yes. Please let me pee before you try and murder me.
Or maybe as soon as she saw all the guards, that just happened naturally.
Oh no! Can I roll to purposely pee myself? No, let's not do that.
I mean, if you want to, you
No, not
certainly
really.
may.
Not really.
Is that like a con check, or what would that even be?
I mean, if you have liquid in you, it's going to be a low. I mean, if unless like you're in a, have you been starving yourself, like kidney problems? I mean, I feel like this should be a fairly easy set. Just pushing buttons, making things happen.
I think we did pretty good considering we had a bunch of people that are like, we'll be late, and by late we mean not here.
Oh, you guys did fine. You've advanced the plot. You have uncovered secrets. You have prepped us for next session.
And stop rolling initiative, Casey. Damn it.
Just getting up to my number here. You guys got everybody on the first. Well, you do not have the stable folk upset with you, but everybody else on the first floor is very mad. And we'll find out how well Talace and crew interacted with the folks upstairs.
I can't wait to hear what they were doing and are going to do in response.
To see whether another 26 people might also be angry at you.
Are they necessarily upstairs, or might they have chosen a room down here too?
They could be downstairs, but they're going to be the ones influencing the upstairs folk.
Okay.
So for
because laborers and guards.
No. Just because there happened to be 26 people on the first floor, so that made it nice and easy. So now we'll find out about the second floor.
Where are the two that don't think we did it?
They are upstairs at the moment.
Actually, one of them in Talisa's room.
I'll give you. Well, they might not care if you did it. But we'll see how that goes. But yes, for some reason, these people were oddly ready to leap upon you as bad folk. See that? You just have to roll better than a 21 to go before those 4 guards. And good old bog luck. Who was in there writing poetry.
All right, guys, I'm gonna log off and get my end of it shut down. But yes, no, Waverly, definitely not a fail. Like 100% way not a fail.
Also, to be fair, we all forgot. That wasn't just you.
Yeah, this is true.
Sounded like a good plan at the time.
It was a plan between all of us, and we all missed the one crucial element.
You gotta stop ending every session with "sounded like a good plan at the time."
I want my bell back.
The bell is still attached to the door, I think, so you can just run over and grab it. I mean, sure.
Just make up some mouse folklore about how it's good luck to hang bells over something, mistletoe, something.
Or you just run over and grab it. Oh, here's where I left this. That's what I was trying to do.
We were playing hide and seek with the bell.
My charisma score is not nearly high enough to get away with a lie in this situation.
Oh yeah, you look...
Not that I'm not going to try, because we probably don't want to fight all these people right now.
What could go wrong? And you know what? I will let you know. Not 100% of the people here are in the cult, so there are some civilians that are just angry at you too. So let that weigh on your conscience as you decide to go weapons free. Evil group.
Not evil.
Nope. Breaking into the strong room.
That's another reason why I'm tempted to think their best plan is to just dash into the strong room and follow them through what is assuredly a trapdoor.
It does seem likely.
Like, I don't think we're gonna convince them not to fight us. Like, I don't think we're gonna gain a better chance to follow the cult than right now. So, and also, I would like to not kill innocent people again.
Yeah, let's not. We only have so much diamond dust.
Don't worry, I got this. Just need a diamond the size of my head.
Guys, don't kill more than 2 of the civilians.
All right, I'm stopping the stream now, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.